President Trump is blasting what he calls fake news networks over their criticism of a group of local TV stations who are promising to report accurately. The stations are owned by the Sinclair Group, and anchors in many different cities have been reading what appears to be copy written by the Home Office.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish things simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Interesting to hear it like that. Senior political analyst Britt Hume is here with some thoughts on all of this. Britt, good evening. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, Brett, I must say it is kind of hilarious to hear that chorus of voices all, mouthing the same words. But if you read the words themselves, they sound like a basic mission statement from a news organization determined to reassure its viewers that it is in the fair, balanced, and factual business, and is not going to be involved in any of the kind of factually sloppy stuff that turns up on social media and elsewhere on the internet. It also urges viewers who are concerned about any of their stations' coverage to get in touch with them, and says they'll be taken seriously. I must say, if you read the words themselves, I find nothing to object to about them.
Well, as you can imagine, some people had a real problem with it. Some on Twitter called it George Orwell. Here was John Meacham on one channel this morning.
It's state media, essentially. I guess only Donald Trump could do this, could unify fears of the corporate media plus First Amendment people plus true conservatives who should be worried about large institutions dictating the reality for others.
Heard that a lot, Britt.
Wow, John Meacham's a friend of mine, and I've admired his work for many years, but I don't know what in the world he's talking about. First of all, I know a lot of people in social media have interpreted this mission statement by these stations, read by anchors across the country, as being pro-Trump, but Trump is never mentioned. And the fact that Trump, like this group of stations, thinks that there's a lot of bad stuff seeping into the media doesn't make it wrong simply because Trump agrees with it. And is now, I guess, defending the stations. I got to say, there's a certain paranoia in this country about much of what is said, because everybody seems to link everything to Donald Trump, whether it is really about Donald Trump or not. And of course, Donald Trump participates in this because he thinks everything's about him.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
you put them together and you've got kind of a toxic brew here.
To that point, he tweeted out, so funny to watch fake news networks among the most dishonest groups of people I've ever dealt with criticize Sinclair Broadcasting for being biased. Sinclair is far superior to CNN and even more fake NBC, which is a total joke. I mean, Britt, it's not like we don't know what the president is thinking. He kind of lets us in on it every day.
Well, that's true. And the other thing is, look, if people who like Donald Trump and people who don't like Donald Trump watch Sinclair News, and Sinclair News sticks to the points that are elaborated in that message that was read across the country, I think they'll both be satisfied. They're simply calling for unbiased, fact-based news coverage, and I don't see what in the world all the fuss could really be about.
Britt, as always, thank you.
Thank you, Brett.